Hey everybody, AC here, and welcome back to another episode of Danny Phantom Vlogs Revisit. This time, we are talking about Danny Phantom 10 years later. And I don't mean I'm doing like a summary of what my thoughts are on the series 10 years after I've previously watched the show. No. We are there on YouTube. On Butch Hartman's channel, the creator of Danny Phantom, you can watch a trilogy of videos called Danny Phantom 10 Years Later, in which Butch draws several of the characters, 12 different characters from the show, as he envisions them to look 10 years in the future. The characters we see Danny, Sam, and Tucker in Part 1. In Part 2, we see Jazz, Jack, Maddie, Vlad, and Danielle. And then in Part 3, we see Box Ghost, Skulker, Ember, and Dark Danny. And that's it. We get those 12 characters as Butch Hartman, the creator, envisions them to be 10 years in the future. And these videos came out like 8 years ago. The videos came out like 8 years ago. So, this stuff came out like long before any drama happened. Which, you know, I personally don't care what drama there is for Butch Hartman, because I love Danny Phantom. Okay, whatever the creator does is none of my business. Whatever the creator does is none of my business. Hate the artist, don't hate the art, you know? Don't hate the art, hate the artist. Don't hate the don't hate the player, don't hate the game. I think that's the same. So, like, yeah, it's if you have a problem with Butch, that's fine. Go ahead, have a problem with him. I don't care. But don't hate on Danny Phantom just because you got a problem with Butch, okay? Let's keep that separate. So now that that's out of the way, I'm going to talk a little bit about which ones I liked most. I'm basically gonna rate them. For number 12, the last place, Box Ghost. Box Ghost 10 years later, not really a fan, honestly. I thought he looked better in the Ultimate Enemy TV movie. I thought that was Box Ghost's best design for like a 10-year later type gap. And so I'm just not a fan of the kind of swampy look that he got in that video. But number 11, Skulker. The main reason why Skulker is so low on the list is simply because, like, the way Butch Hartman drew him, keep in mind, Skulker is a machine. It's a machine. Skulker himself is a tiny ghost inside the machine. It is a teeny tiny ghost in the machine. And he's got a big suit, and yet, I don't know, like, the way Butch drew him, it looked like the suit was like skin. And, like, he had, like, one eye sewn shut. But it's metal. It's metal. You don't sew metal shut. You weld it together. So, I don't know. Like, the design didn't really make a whole lot of sense with what we know of Skulker. So that'd be number 11. Number 10 is Jazz. Now, I do like the idea of Jazz 10 years later being kind of the woman in the chair. The one who stays back and helps them, uses like surveillance footage and satellite images and all that stuff, all this high tech, in order to give them in order to give them aid, technical aid. I get that. I love that idea. I'm just not a big fan of her just kind of being stuck in a chair forever. Just forever stuck in a chair. Like, he said that he was inspired by Oracle from Batman. And I'm like, I don't really like the idea of that. Because, like, Jazz actually kicked a lot of ass when she went out into the field. Like, she used the Fenton Peeler several times throughout the series, and she was really good at it. She was really proficient at it. And, yeah, I don't know. It just... I don't know. It just... I just wasn't that big of a fan. I like the idea. The idea of her being a woman in the chair is really cool. I'm just not a big fan of the design. Maddie, I gotta be honest. I love what he did with Maddie. The one thing I don't love is the haircut. The hairdo is the one thing, and I mean the one thing that I don't love with what he did with Maddie. He gave her like this punk mohawk type hairstyle, and I'm like, oh god. Knowing what we know about Maddie's personality, I don't think she would even want that kind of hairstyle. So I don't know. Like, I'm not a fan of the hairstyle. I love everything else he did with her character, and I think it's all really cool. It's just that one. It's just that one piece that I'm like, ew, nope. And so, like, that's why it's this low on the list. I really don't like that hair. Everything else about her 10 years later is still really cool, though. Jack, how he's missing a leg and he's missing an eye, because, you know, since Danny's famous worldwide, a lot of ghosts are coming out to try to challenge him and his family. And so Jack's been through several battles and has lost a leg and an eye in those battles. And I think that's a pretty cool. I think that's a pretty good, cool idea. The one thing that I will say is that I feel like he made Jack a little too serious, and he got rid of all the goofiness of Jack's character. And that was like one of the best parts about Jack, is his goofy nature. He's the goofy one, Maddie's the serious one. They balance each other out. But now it seems like both of them are overly serious. And I don't know, it seems like you got rid of all of the good parts about Jack just to make him have the same serious personality that Maddie had. So the design is really cool. I just kind of wish he had given a little bit more of that silly nature that Jack is known for in the design. Number 7, Ember. I love the idea that Ember, 10 years later, she's no longer dating Skulker, and she's like kind of obsessed with Danny at this point. She's become like kind of obsessed with him, and she's got like a big crush on him, and so she recreated her guitar so it's shaped like the Danny Phantom logo, and she's got like kind of like part of her hair shaved with the Danny Phantom logo, and like her hair is kind of long, like grown out, and is kind of, instead of going like up and flaming, it's still flaming, but like now it's kind of like going down into the side, and that's really cool. I really like that. Ember, I personally don't really like that whole haircut where like one part of their hair is like shaved. It's like, I don't know, it never looks right. But there are a handful of characters that can pull it off. Ember, I think, is one of those characters, because she's always been like a punk rock type girl. So so it makes sense that she would be able to pull off a look like that. Yeah, I like it. this is now we're getting into the ones that I really that I actually really like, and it's just a matter of like, what do I like more? Which designs do I like more? But yeah, Ember I really like, and all the others after this I really like. But number 6, Vlad. Vlad, I love Vlad's design, and he said that Vlad got captured and enslaved by alien ghosts, a race of like alien ghosts, and was brought there and used for entertainment in like a coliseum, and fought and had to fight all these different monsters and everything. And so Vlad finally manages to escape, and now he really wants revenge on Dani. And he looks so menacing. His redesign looks so menacing and so cool and so badass. And I'm like, oh man, I would love to see a battle between this Vlad and 10 years later Dani. That would be so cool. That would be a fight. That would be an actual fight. Because by the end of the series, Dani has already surpassed Vlad in terms of power. Dani has become far more powerful than Vlad, which is why he's able to easily beat him at the start of Phantom Planet. And so this would be basically the power boost that Vlad needed in order to stand toe-to-toe with Dani. So oh man, that would be so cool. Number 5, Tucker. Tucker. I like how Tucker is. I like how his idea for Tucker is that Tucker, either works for the president or is running for presidency. He never specified which one it was. But he mentioned that Tucker would most likely be doing one of those things, since he became mayor of Amity Park at the end of the series. And he has all these high-tech gizmos that he's using to help Dani in his spare time. He's not always there. He's not always there with them, but he's always sending all of his tech over to help Dani as much as he can. And I like how Tucker's old color scheme for his clothes, the brown, yellow, and orange, is implemented into his new hat, into his new beanie hat, and I like that. I think that's really cool. And yeah, it is a pretty cool design for Tucker. I do think it fits him. Number 4, Dark Dani. Dark Dani. His new design is so creepy. It's so creepy. It's just, his suit is just pure black. His suit is pure black, and you don't even see the pupils in his eyes. They're just white. And his hair is even larger and even more, and is like black flames now. And he's just got this permanent creepy grin on his face. Like he's just gone completely insane after being trapped in the thermos for 10 years. Oh, that is cool. That is really cool. Oh, that's awesome. So, number 3, Sam. I love Sam's design for 10 years later. I love the jacket I love the jacket she's got. She's got the Dani Phantom logo on her shirt. She's carrying around a whole bunch of different weapons on like a belt that she just kind of pulls out. In order to help fight. And she's like always by Dani's side. She's always like there hunting ghosts with him. And basically his team is basically him, Sam, Danielle, and Valerie, with Tucker and Jazz providing a bunch of tech support. And yeah, that's really cool. That's awesome. Like to see like that's the team. 10 years later. And yeah, I really like Sam's design. And Sam has like longer hair. Sam has like longer hair. She grew her hair out, and she definitely looks a lot more like feminine, and she's willing to wear other colors besides just black. She wears some blues and some reds, some purples every now and then. So she's expanded beyond just black, but she still keeps kind of that goth aesthetic. Yeah, it's really cool. So number 2, Danny Phantom himself. Of course, he's got to be in the top 2 spots. He's got to be in the top 2 spots, of course. I love the idea that the Fenton Thermos is like part of his glove now. He's got like this suit that's powered by ecto energy, and so like he's got the Phantom Thermos in his suit, and and it like directly sends Ghost to the ghost zone once it's sucked in. So you don't like it doesn't like suck it in and contain them until he can release them in the ghost zone. No, there's an actual mini portal to the ghost zone in the Phantom Thermos now that's attached to his arm that just immediately sends them to the ghost zone once he sucks them in. And every time he sucks in a ghost, it powers his suit. It gives his suit more power, so he's able to unleash to basically unleash even stronger blasts. He takes the ghost energy from his suit and incorporates it into his different blasts and different abilities. So he's able to so he becomes even more powerful. And that's so cool. That's so cool. That's such a cool idea. And Danny does have like kind of flaming hair, like his darker half, but it's like he still has the same kind of hair, hairstyle, but it's like kind of flaming off, kind of like to the side and in front, and it's not like going up. It's like actually going in the same direction as the rest of his hair, and it's so cool. I love his design. I love his armored look. I love how sleek the logo looks on his new suit. It's so cool. So, and then number 1, Danielle Phantom, Danny's cousin. She has always been like one of my favorite characters in the show. Like just the whole idea of her being like a clone of Danny, and she becomes her own. She becomes a hero in her own right. And I love both of the episodes with her. She's definitely a standout character in the show for me. Very cool character. And 10 years later, she's got like this really cool look that like kind of a jacket with the Danny Phantom logo and tight long pants. She has like the body proportions, the body shape of Maddie from the show. Her jacket doesn't even go down all the way. Like it shows her belly button. But she also has like flaming hair. She's got the same hairstyle as Danny, but she also grew it out at the back, and so like it's all like flaming down the back, and also flaming in the same direction that her hair goes on top. And she's gotten a lot more proficient with her plasma energy, and she can basically shape her plasma energy into anything she wants, including reshaping it into words. Butch like kind of draws her like reshaping plasma energy to say the words "rock on," because according to him, she's kind of a party girl. She likes to party. She likes to have fun, and she likes to mess with the ghosts that she hunts down. Even more so than Danny. Her design just looks so cool. Her design looks so cool, and she looks so gorgeous, all grown up. And yeah, she's awesome. She looks incredible, and I would absolutely love to see it in animation at some point. It would be so cool. But yeah, so Danny Phantom 10 years later. I love this whole idea. A lot of these designs were really cool. Some of them could be a little better, but a lot of them were really cool. And I will also be giving a grade to this because, you know, seeing as how these were created by Butch Hartman himself, the creator of Danny Phantom, they can be considered canonical. It can be considered canonical that this is what would become of all the characters 10 years later. So, what should I grade this? Some of them have really, really fucking cool designs, and some of them not so much. Some of them don't feel like it fits the characters. Let's see. 7 of them I really love. Jack and Maddie are not bad. Box Ghost Skulker and Jazz are really the only ones I don't really like. Jack and Maddie are not bad, but they're not great. So I'm going to give this an A-. I'm going to give it an A-. It's not good enough for an A, but I don't think it's bad enough for a B+. So I'm going to give it an A-. So yeah. So A- for Danny Phantom 10 years later. So that's going to do it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care, everyone.